I'm extremely pleased with the results so far, and you've heard me say my focus has always been on let's make the customer interaction the best it can be, because it's hard to raise price, it's hard to change any other policy when the infrastructure itself isn't working well. So we wanted to make sure that happened. I don't have the exact numbers. But I know the ratio at one point was about 14 or 15,000 transactions to 2 complaints, and that's my kind of ratio in terms of it was what we hoped. We were going to go to the largest app in the country because it's got a lot of experience, cutting edge technology that it's able to be a little more user friendly than the Park Pensacola app that we've had before. I know when we switched on April 1st, we got a handful of phone calls that first day, from people saying the app isn't working. But we did, that's why we gave that 3-month period, and we continue to be proactive. We're running commercials on TV, billboards. We took a very proactive approach in making sure that our citizens and our visitors saw that change. We didn't just hope that they, read one of our press releases or something like that. We try to get out there. So I feel really good about that. In terms of the rate increase, that's to solve a problem of inventory. And the number one complaint in the UWF study was we can't find spaces. And we asked when you can't find spaces, and they say at nights and on weekends. Well, at night during the weekend, which we charge nothing during. So the time that it's hardest to find a space is the time we charge zero. And so that's not the sole reason we're doing it. It's because the price hasn't been raised in years, since we've had a baseball stadium, since we've had vibrancy downtown, and that is what comes with it. And so I know there's a lot of traditionalists out there that say, well, why don't you make parking free? Well, that would be the opposite impact. If we make parking free everywhere, all we would have is people staying in parking spaces, employees, people leaving cars overnight. We would be losing such inventory, which would really be the choke point for vibrancy and for small businesses and all of that downtown. So it's a case of supply and demand, and we've got to do a better job of balancing supply and demand. And we got a great problem to have. We've got significant 30% cell phone transaction growth over a 2-year period in our downtown. So people are coming downtown, and we've got to do a better job of balancing those things. So as you said, still a bargain, I believe, at $1 an hour. Our study suggested that given all the economics, given our household income economics, everything included in that, we should probably be at about $1.80 an hour right now compared to other cities. And we did those comparisons, but we're going to $1 an hour. We understand that this could be a long process in that respect, but we've got a process in place for starting to implement some of those policy changes that we've talked about. Whether that's added geography, a little bit later hours, and cost. Those were really the 3 policy changes we're looking at. And so what you see and what they're going to vote on Thursday is because instead of waiting till October 1st, from this point forward, this coming budget, we believe that the parking fees, like most cities, the parking fees should be handled in the annual budget approval. For whatever reason, our parking fees have been in the ordinance. And so that means if you want to raise it by 1 cent, you would have to go back and have 2 votes at council to raise it by 1 cent. We want the flexibility to be able to say, well, there might be areas in town where it's $1 and some that are 25 cents or some that's 75 cents. If technology allows us to do that, that might be something we consider down the road. That's going to be pretty hard to do if it's sitting in an ordinance. So why it's coming now is that we want to go ahead and make that change from today until October when the budget is approved. But this will be the last time we will be proposing a change in our parking structure outside of the annual budget. We'll just start doing it in a more traditional sense. The same way we do Roger Scott tennis, the same way we do Osceola golf. Those are all in the budget every year, and then we approve them as needed. So, but we didn't want to wait 6-7 months to make that change. So that's why you see that at council today, or excuse me, on Thursday.